Die Crocodile Trophy ist immer einzigartig.
Crocodile Trophy is a hard and unique race.
For me, it's a nice way to see something from Australia.
This has been such a tough tour, probably one of the toughest races I've ever done.
Welcome to the city of Cairns in tropical North Queensland for the 22nd edition of the Crocodile Trophy, the most legendary mountain bike race on earth. It's an iconic 8-day race where riders from all over the world have made their way to this great city, not to chase crocodiles, but to chase the tracks and trails in this part of the world. Among the favourites is three-time winner Urs Huber.
Crocodile Trophy is a tough race and it's right at the end of the season. It means you can look forward to it and for a relatively long time, and certainly does that. It's very special because it's so far away from home. You're facing completely different conditions than in Europe. That really makes it unique.
Unique attractions also in Cairns and lots of wonderful wildlife. It really is a great place to be. Matthias Grick is an Austrian who doesn't want to see a crocodile in the flesh.
I don't really want to see such a huge crocodile in any of the crossings, but the landscape and the nature are breathtaking here and one of a kind.
This is the tropical north of Queensland and the home of the Crocodile Trophy since 2009. I'm Mike Tomalaris and I'm joined in commentary by seven-time competitor and one of the directors of Rocky Trail Entertainment in Martin Visata. Martin, what makes this event so unique?
The Crocodile Trophy is a truly mountain biker's race, so you need to be fast, fit, up a hill, downhill, you need to have the skills. And also the place, the backdrop. We start in Cairns, and even the night before the race even starts, the Cairns Mountain Bike Club puts on a race for spectators, for some of the riders, here in the middle of Cairns.
Cairns indeed is mountain bike heaven as we take a look at the course for 2016. More than 600 kilometres of racing over some incredible tracks and trails and more than 12,000 metres of climbing before they finish in Port Douglas.
Stage one, certainly one for the true mountain bikers. We're going to Smithfield, the mountain bike park there that has seen World Cup events and will have the World Championships there next year.
It's a wonderful resort, but it's all about the mountain bike.
Let's do this.
Women elite rider on the first row, men in the second row. 3, 2, 1, have fun. Great race for all of you.
Gerhard Scherbacher is the race founder and he still operates this great event 22 years after it first started.
And after a neutral start, we're going to the actual race start. And I love it. It's hectic. Adrenaline is absolutely pumping. Your heart rate is nearing the 200 mark. And it's very crucial that you get a top spot after the opening lap. And a lot of riders put everything on the line.
It's a very technical start to this race, and the Belgian rider Sebastian Caraban seems to be excelling in these conditions.
Yeah, it is a very tough and coarse and twitchy track, so you gotta have the mountain bike skills in that one, and you can certainly make up some time and put the power down if you have those skills.
This is Urs Huber. He's a three-time winner looking to win title number 4, and it's a very close contest between the Belgian and the Swiss riders.
Not only do we get a lot of international pro riders coming to the Crocodile Trophy, but also a strong amateur field from Australia.
Caraban increases his lead onto Urs Huber to more than a minute and is racing towards a stage win at Paradise Palms.
I'm from cross country and it was a technical section with a lot of corner, and I think it was for me. And I try to take my chance.
Well, Caravan produces an upset result. Urs Huber climbs into second place. It's an upset.
Yeah, definitely. And says that he raced in control and tried to retain his energy as much as possible. So I was quite content, even though he only came second, with his result today.
In the women's category, victory for another Belgian, Alice Pirard, number 21.
It was a good day. I must say I really love the bike park in Smithfield, and that's one of the reasons I'm coming back. I really like those trails.
The stage one women's podium looks like this. We got the Belgian marathon champion Alice Pirard on the top step. In second place is Ruth Corset from Australia, and Annemiek van Vleuten from Holland in third.
As for the men, Sebastian Caraban, well, he wears the leader's jersey for the first time in this race, ahead of Urs Huber with Matthias Grieck from Austria in third. In the dry season, Cairns is a treat. You can take a trip to the Great Barrier Reef. It's paradise for the divers and paradise for the riders. Or you might want to go for a leisurely ride on the Esplanade on your bike.
For us, the riders, still fairly relaxed on the Esplanade because it is a neutral start. And then after about 15 kilometers, their action really gets going.
Well, this is the start of stage 2. They leave Cairns. It is a neutral start before they hit the high roads into the Atherton tableland. For now, the mood is relaxed, Martin.
Yeah, it's about to change. Don't you worry. There's a lot of climbing going on stage 2. And yeah, it's a good test to see who does have the best climbing legs amongst the field.
Well, after a last view of the beautiful city of Cairns, the race gets underway properly. And it's fast, it's furious.
We don't have narrow single track anymore on that stage. The roads are wide and everybody can put the power down on the way up. Everybody needs his technical abilities and skill on the way down.
And the riders for the first time get to see the tropical rainforest that exists around this part of the world.
The creek crossings are always very welcome, especially when it's as hot as it was on day 2. And drinking is the second most important thing. After riding your bike, you go through quite a lot of electrolyte drinks as well as water.
This is Annemiek van Vleuten, who crashed out of the road race at the Olympic Games. She's here because she represents an Australian team, the Orica AIS team. She loves it here.
I would not have to think about my shape or if I can drink a beer, yes or no. So a really good time of the year. So when there's a nice another race in October or November after my season is finished, yeah, maybe I go for it. But my focus will stay road racing because that's where I am at a world-class level, and for mountain biking I'm not world-class level at all.
2 riders who are on the top of the mountain bike world class. It is even for them a very hard day. And while Urs Huber keeps attacking and attacking, Sebastian Caraban finds that the stage is a little bit too long for him at the end, and he has to concede a little gap to Urs on day 2.
This is the town of Atherton. It's the biggest town on the tablelands. Agriculture and tourism are the main sources of income. With beautifully built mountain bike tracks, the town wants to attract more riding tourists into the region in future. More than $2 million have been invested into the construction of these trails.
We've got some of the best country to ride through up here, some of the best tracks, whether it's mountain biking or it's just like this rail trail all the way through. And my council and the community really is right behind getting all events like this attracted to the area that we can.
Joe Parinella, who's the mayor of Atherton, he welcomes international riders from all parts of the world. This is stage 3.
It's another treat for the mountain bikers because the entire day is spent on awesome single trail and enjoyed by a lot, especially Brenton Skirky from Australia.
I mean, everything, you've got to be switched on. It's single trail the whole way. There's no reprieve from it. It's rocky, it's technical, it's fast, downhill. So it's a pure mountain bike course, that one.
The stage has something for everyone, and all feed station cars are equipped with a 300-litre tank of water. In addition to the drinks, the feed zones offer melons and pineapples for the riders, the best fruits. The team at the Crocodile Trophy is constantly under the pump, especially because the lead racers need to be provided with supplies quickly. The fruit is tasting delicious. It's all local produce from far north Queensland.
And Alice Pirat, the cross-country expert, obviously feels very comfortable in the Atherton mountain bike park.
I really loved it. I felt like I was in Wonderland. It was just a single track paradise, and the whole time technical, switchbacks, berms, jumps, routes, rock gardens. It was just what I love.
It's a wonderful endorsement for Wonderful Mountain Bike Park. Not only Alice loves it, but also Sebastian Caraban, who picks up his second win of the Crocodile Trophy 2016. Urs Huber, right on his heels, didn't lose a lot of time that day. And third is Matthias Krieg riding for KTM. One of the criteria of today's day was to accelerate fast out of those corners because there's so many of them. And you need to be clean and fast on the descents. He loves that because he's got a cross-country background and wants to avoid the defects in the flat tires because it loses a lot of time.
Part of the beauty of the Crocodile Trophy is that after the race you can relax, you can take in the sights and sounds of this part of the world. There is hotel accommodation, but for some, they may prefer to sleep under the stars. As for the mechanics, well, their work is not done until very late in the day. These bikes, these machines have to be spick and span. But it's a great way to celebrate every night.
Day 4 gives us a very classic mountain bike marathon, 72 kilometers, quite a lot of climbing today, lots of big hills. Big hills obviously have to be followed by challenging descents and also a lot of river crossings to make it another tough stage.
And this year's Crocodile Trophy marks some very impressive records. Martin, you're an Austrian who's been living in Australia for quite a few years. You're very much experienced in competing in the Crocodile Trophy. But tell me, does it get any easier?
Well, at my first race here, I certainly had to fight way harder. You get more experienced and obviously you get fitter as well over the years. Here explained in German, it's a lot more fun now because the Crocodile Trophy has really changed from a road race on dirt to a pure mountain bike race. And that's what we're here for, and that's what we love.
Among the many Australians competing in this year's race is Daniel Beresford. He's the best place Aussie, and he's here at the start with his project Croc for Kids. It's a charitable initiative, and at the same time, he's extremely fast. He's here to win.
The biggest thing is the amount of money I've raised for our children's charity and the Ronald McDonald House in Wagga for the Croc for Kids. That was made. So we're over about $5,000 and it's still going.
And what can you say about this great Dutch lady, Annemieke van Vleuten? She is leading the race after 4 days, has a considerable gap and looks like she's enjoying the mountain bike racing on these trails. But Martin, she doesn't have it all her way.
Yeah, Annemieke unfortunately misses a few turns and loses a lot of time that way.
And what can you say about Ruth Corser, the mother of 2 from Townsville? She's made the transition from the road to the mountain bikes.
I am a road rider, but yesterday's course was quite brutal just with the heat and I love hills, but yeah, the amount of climbing was just crazy.
At the front, as usual, it's the same picture. Urs Huber, a 3-time winner, up against Sebastian Caraban. And today, the croc old hand from Switzerland prevails.
He explains that he had a flat tire today and tried to find a hole right away. It was the side of the tire, and he used a so-called samurai sword to fix it. It's a little tool that has a rubber bit. You put it into the hole and then pull out the fork again, and that way the hole is shut up right away.
Peter Bass, the Dutch rider, finally reaches his long-desired goal, a podium finish. And isn't he happy? He says, I wanted to race onto the podium in the general classification, but I had a few mechanicals, so that won't be possible anymore. And that's why I want to claim a few podium positions on the individual stages. The historic town of Herberton, not far away from Atherton, it reminds us of days gone by. It's a museum. Very little has been touched since it was first settled in 1881. Martin, these are places you don't get to see, especially if you're European.
The Australian outback, the Australian bush is very unique and something you certainly can't compare anything to in Europe.
The Croc Trophy reaches the halfway mark and Urs Huber has a slender lead of 1 minute and 41 seconds over Sebastian Caraban. In the women's section, well, it is one-way traffic for now. Alice Pirard, 1 hour and 14 minutes ahead of Annemieke van Vleuten.
In the morning, it's the usual ritual with the trucks packing up the equipment. Tents need to be brought to our next stop, which is the Skyberry Coffee Plantation. And it's 130 kilometers to get there.
The riders are constantly accompanied by the medical crew, which follows the race on quad bikes. What are your memories of this stage?
It was the longest stage, but it was also one of the fastest ones in terms of how it feels on the bike. And only Matthias Grieg from Austria is able to keep up with the crazy pace of Urs Huber and Sebastian Caraban. But then bad luck hits him and he has to fix a flat tire and has to let the other two go.
In the outback, there's not much support, Martin. You've got to do your own mechanicals, as we saw there. As for Annemiek van Vleuten, she loves the flat terrain, and have a look at her posture. This is a racer, a real racer, isn't it?
Yes, she definitely knows how to get into the aero tuck and put the power down on a day like that.
The temperatures are very high in far north Queensland at this time of the year. The dry season, 38 degrees Celsius. It's the hottest day so far. Urs Huber and Sebastian Caraban finish 1-2. For Urs Huber, he's an experienced campaigner, but not Caraban, who doesn't know what to expect.
The problem that he knows very well the track, and I know nothing, so it's difficult for me to see the race and how to do in the race.
For the third time, the Skyberry Coffee Plantation hosted the Crocodile Trophy. For 26 years, the McLaughlin family business grows coffee, good coffee as well, papayas and bananas in this tropical region. As the biggest coffee exporter in Australia, the beans are grown without any chemical pesticides. It's good stuff, Martin.
Yeah, certainly had a lot of coffee during our 2 days there. Really enjoyed it. Keeps you going, keeps you fueled and ready for the next day.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it, that we have this opportunity to offer our place as a venue, as a stopover point. I suppose because we're on the edge of the outback here, it makes it a perfect position to bring the race in to us. And for us, it's great exposure as well to be recognised, to have our facility, and we love to cooperate and we hope we can keep it going in years to come.
Marianne McLaughlin is a great supporter of the Crocodile Trophy, the owner of the Skyberry Coffee campaign. And this is where the race stayed for stage 6. Skyberry to Skyberry, just 49 kilometres and one of the flatter stages, Martin.
It was almost like a rest day. Good hour 45 or thereabouts on the bike. Some people raced really, really hard, others took it a little bit easier and just wanted to get back to drinking more coffee.
The Crocodile Trophy is raced under the watchful eye of UCI commissaires, as there are points up for grabs for the winners. There are riders here of different backgrounds, including the Belgian Arnaud Matisse, who's a para-rider.
I try to ride as much as possible, but the motivation to keep riding is quite a tad bigger with me than with other people. Some people, they just, if it's getting a bit technical, they start to walk. But if I walk, it takes me a lot of time, it takes me a lot of effort. And every stage, if there's a bit of walking, I lose 1 or 2 hours. So in the downhills, I can have a lot of fun, but it's a tad heavy to push in the climbs.
On a day that's a little bit easier to race, it's really good to take in and enjoy the scenery. And people who come from all over the world to see it really enjoy it. One of them is Jürgen de Vos, an amateur rider from Belgium. It's very different to what he's used to in Belgium. The landscape and camaraderie among the riders is really great. This is compared to other races I've done and I really, really like it here. At the front, we have an unusual combination of riders. Stef de Luer, one of the youngest competitors in the race, and Annemiek van Vleuten. The pair of them attacks the entire field. It seems like they didn't really want to chase them down, and they get away and build up a solid gap at the front.
And if the riders take time to look up, they see some amazing natural wonders. Do they have time?
No, they don't have time anymore to enjoy the scenery. They are racing. They're trying to chase the top 2 riders down, but it looks like they're leaving it a little bit too late. And that makes Stef de Luer the youngest ever winner with only 19 years of age of a Crocodile Trophy stage.
Amazing, amazing. I was so afraid. I didn't. I was too scared to look back, so I constantly think they would come, and it's amazing.
When his father, Robert de Luer, reaches the finish a little later on, they are both over the moon. It's a double celebration.
Blijf jou, joh. Hey, fantastisch. Echt goed.
Hey,
Wonderful scenery, and with just a minute gap, a happy Annemiek van Vleuten comes into the finish in second place.
Finally today I did not have bad luck, and also had a little bit bad luck that someone, after I survived all the downhills, someone crashed me on the asphalt. So yeah, it was no luck yesterday and the day before yesterday. So finally today, a good day for me.
Smiles all round for Van Vleuten and also for Marion McLaughlin from Skybury, who hands out the boomerangs, the traditional trophy of the Crocodile Trophy stage winners.
One of the reasons I come back to the Crocodile Trophy year after year is the amazing family and friends you build up over the years. Racing that race together is something special.
Marion McLaughlin sends off the riders with a gunshot as stage 7 gets underway.
After a short stage on the day before, the field is very well rested. But 102 kilometers going all the way to Weatherby Station will certainly heat us up again. And it is another fast days with a lot of winds coming from the front and also the sides.
Part of the attraction of the Crocodile Trophy is the opportunity for the amateur riders to rub shoulders with the elite.
Eerst en vooral gewoon uitrijden en van het land te genieten.
This is Michael Maceman. He says he wants to finish the race above all and, of course, enjoy the landscape. Not everybody flies onto the other side of the world to ride a bike, but I like it. On the final stretches, the amateurs are fighting for seconds in their placings, and they're in a hurry. They're about to decide the podium positions in the various categories.
Graham de Roo from Belgium says that the adventure is really unbelievable. You have to do this once in your life. You get to beautiful spots that you wouldn't see otherwise, and it's actually on a mountain bike possible. I find it extremely hard, and it's a big challenge.
It's a dry season, but the riders look forward to the rainforests and the river crossings. No crocodiles here, so we think, but it's a great chance to cool down. Riders are here from all over the world, including for the first time ever Singapore. Pang Meng Yang is number 87.
The pros are giving tips of how to cycle, and because we have never seen so much of the technical part of mountain biking, and I learned a lot, and it actually made me very confident on the bike.
The shade of the rainforests and the river crossings make the heat bearable. A lot of fun too. Not so much fun at the front of the race where Urs Huber and Sebastian Caraban are fighting for first place.
Sebastian is only a little bit behind Urs Huber in the ranking, but he's running out of time to make it up. Only a short time trial at the final stage, and in the penultimate day he attacks, but Urs, the old hand of the Crocodile Trophy, still wins today.
Sprint is always you can win or you can lose, but I know the course from last year, so I attacked exactly in the right moment.
Not only the top guys are sprinting for it, also the third place is getting fought out very hard.
As for the women, well, it's time to take a selfie.
In the middle of the tour, I was thinking, I don't know what I'm doing here. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I've really enjoyed this tour and the Croc Trophy, and I think it's been some great racing and some very tough racing, especially with tough competitors.
The Weatherby Cattle Station is one of the oldest of its kind in Queensland and an ideal and idyllic spot for a Crocodile Trophy stage finish, with a farmhouse that was built in 1878.
Let me know we're getting close.
The area is known for its cattle and steers, but it's all down to the final stage of the Crocodile Trophy, the individual time trial.
It is raced in reverse order, which means the last rider in the general classification starts first and Urs Huber starts last. Intervals are 30 seconds, and Max Meger from the UCI sends the field off, one by one.
The riders take to the infamous bump track. Hundreds of years ago, this was the only connecting track between the coast and the tablelands. Today, it has become a popular mountain bike track towards the Pacific Ocean and the finish line on the Great Barrier Reef and Port Douglas. 4 Mile Beach, the finish line for this year's Crocodile Trophy.
And it's an amazing way to end 8 days on a bike. You give it your absolute everything. You push over the line as hard as you can. How much pain can you take on a beautiful beach? And then it's rewarded with hugs and a sense of great achievement.
And have a look at the huge elation and pride after 8 days of tough racing.
It's probably the highlight of my career. It's been hard. I've suffered a lot, but to come here to do this, it's an amazing race.
The last kilometres are raced on the famous 4 Mile beach, directly on the water. The finish line is visible in the distance, and the riders are enjoying the last metres of racing. This is paradise. It's a great place to finish.
They are from the same team, and they are celebrating.
It's super, super pretty. Like those last 4K coming along the beach. You have like this awesome view of the background, looking at Port Douglas and like looking at the ocean and riding on the beach. It's just super, super pretty.
But the race is still on for Sebastian Caraban. He doesn't have time to enjoy the beautiful setting on the Pacific Ocean. He wants to win this final time trial, this final stage of the race. Behind him is the man in red and yellow, Urs Huber, who fights for his overall victory. He started 1 minute behind Caraban. It has become a fight to the end.
And after a grueling yet short time trial, Urs pulls out the win and gets the stage by only 5 seconds ahead of Seb Caraban.
Crocodile Trophy is a famous race all over the world. Everybody knows about it, and to win it for a 4th time, it's really incredible.
Of today, a little disappointed because only 5 seconds behind him. It's not so much, and a little disappointed, but yeah, it's good.
For the women, a proud moment for the Belgian Alice Pirard. She couldn't be happier.
Super, ja. Het is echt
She says it was just fantastic. It was such a hard week, but I'm so happy with my win. It's unbelievable.
Ongelooflijk.
And this finish, come on, where do you have this kind of finish?
So the overall standings, Urs Huber wins by a slender margin of 1 minute and 48 seconds from Caraban, with Michiel van Albroek in 3rd place. For the women, Pirard wins by 44 minutes over Van Vleuten.
But whether you finish first or last or somewhere in the middle, it's just an amazing race. Make great friends in an awesome scenery, and I'll be back for sure.
After a week of hard racing, the competitors take to the spoils of this part of the world, the Great Barrier Reef, and all it has to offer. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a great place to hold a mountain bike race of such prestige. The 22nd edition of the Crocodile Trophy done and dusted. But as Martin says, many of the competitors will be back in 2017. Look out for it. It's being held in September.